Minasan konnichiwa und willkommen. And today I'm doing another vlog. But this time it's about my reasons why I started my new Christmas Eve tradition. Very, very early in the morning at 4 a.m. Central Standard Time. But before I get started, I recommend you subscribe to the Brick Girls, Julie and Lucy. I mean, they are just so graceful and adorable, especially when they talk about inspiring topics. Like, hello, welcome back to the Brick Girls. I'm Lucy and this is my mother Julie. Hi guys, I'm Julie. Today we're going to be talking about Cinderella. Probably Byron Chandler's most favorite Disney princess. 'Cause she's very beautiful and graceful like us. Okay. Now let's actually talk about the history of the two shows that I'm talking about, and then my reasoning for starting that new tradition. It all started in 1958, around December 17th that year, when ABC aired From All of Us to All of You, that classic Disneyland episode which had some clips from various Disney shorts and feature films. Like the party sequence from Snow White and the mice making the titular character's dress from Cinderella, known in Japan as Shuriyuki Hime to Shindorara, while in Sweden it's Snövit och Askungen, because Askapot means Cinderella in Norwegian, which is La Cenicienta in Spain and La Cenicienta in Mexico, and La Cenerentola in Italy, and Aschenputtel in Germany. And Snow White is actually Schneewittchen in German and Branca de Neve in Brazilian Portuguese. Wunderbar, danke. Tudo bem, muito obrigado. And around 1959 or 1960, depending on the source, Kalianka och hans vänner önskar god jul premiered on Swedish channel SVT1, and it became an instant hit. And that particular episode of Disneyland has become a Swedish Christmas tradition ever since. Even though I'm not Swedish, I actually adore this Swedish tradition, while also incorporating a Japanese tradition, and that's eating Kentucky Fried Chicken, or Kentucky Fried Chicken in Japan. Ikuzo, Kentucky! God jul. Gott tack. Nej, adelante. Nej, voi Hans. Idi de mamma, mina ni vän. Now we actually get to Donald in Mathmagic Land. It originally was shown in theaters on June 26, 1959, on the same bill as Darby O'Gill and the Little People. But the former actually fascinated me more than the live-action movie, mostly because of the animation at that time. You know, before Disney Shorts division closed down. But it was great hearing the legends like Paul Frees and Clarence Charles Ducky Nash. Like, what the open brackets? Shut up! I can't stand it. everything, Donald. There are lots of great shapes that become mathematics. Yep, it was released in theaters on June 26, 1959, on the same bill as Darby O'Gill and the Little People. And then 2 years later, the very first episode of Walt Disney's Wonderful World of Color premiered on NBC. Because Disney's relationship with ABC soured. And NBC gave him the opportunity to broadcast his show in color. And it actually worked, which enticed people to actually switch over from black and white TV sets to color sets. And speaking of TV, I know this is not part of the vlog, but I just had a turkey TV dinner while I got football playing in my room. As in college football from 1999. Anyway, back to the vlog. I just absolutely love that episode, which in the first part we actually see Walt Disney in his latest creation at the time, Ludwig van Drake, talking about color. At some point, Ludwig van Drake performs the Spectrum song, which gave us not only the color variant of the song, but also the black and white variant, with the different shades of black, white, and gray. And it really fascinated me. Even though I wasn't alive when that episode originally aired. And Walt Disney actually gave us a little demonstration of early color film. Like, for example, Flowers and Trees, the first Silly Symphony cartoon to be filmed in color. About 50% of the black and white version was already finished, but Walt Disney really wanted to take advantage of Technicolor. We now fast forward like over about 55 years later, and that one particular programming block really fascinated me, and that was TCM's Treasures from the Disney Vault. And that particular episode of Walt Disney's Wonderful World of Color actually aired on that channel. And I was really entranced by it. Because the animation was really impressive for its time, back in 1959, when it was shown in theaters. But it had a much longer life in schools, like I said earlier. But I never saw it again after that until December 24th, 2020. That's where my new tradition really began. And long after I'm gone, I want my little brother Kenny and my nephew Cameron to carry on the tradition. The tradition that I started. As in, I was heavily inspired by the Swedish tradition that a lot of Swedes do on Christmas Eve. So I pretty much adapted it into my American tradition. Americanizing it. With the very first episode of Walt Disney's Wonderful World of Color being titled An Adventure in Color / Donald in Mathmagicland, with the versatile Paul Frees, who voiced not only Ludwig van Drake in the first part of the show, but also the spirit in the second half of the show. And it's been with me ever since. All thanks to that unique little Scandinavian tradition. And I proudly take that tradition very seriously. And I recommend everyone else do the same thing. Because it's a Christmas Eve tradition that's very special to me as a Scandinavian myself, technically Norwegian. Then I also watch Disney's animated Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs in Castilian Spanish with Latin American Spanish subtitles, and in Brazilian Portuguese with Swedish subtitles. And of course, Walt Disney's animated Cinderella in Swedish with Brazilian Portuguese subtitles, and in Japanese with German subtitles, the way my autistic mind wants it, while eating Kentucky Fried Chicken and Pizza Hut stuffed crust meat lovers pizza during my viewings. Okay, that should be it for the video for today, folks. I hope you enjoyed it. Like, subscribe, comment. And as always, amigos, au revoir, auf Wiedersehen, sayonara, adios, and arrivederci. And make sure you click that bell icon so you'll get notified when I upload new videos. And I'll be back with another video shortly, so stay tuned. And I also recommend subscribing to A Cinderella Wish and Sunkissed Chrissy, who made my dream come true by meeting Cinderella on my behalf. And for Royal River Art for making a beautiful Cinderella painting for me. Mia, Chrissy, and Michelle are just absolutely graceful and sweet.